But Liam, we spoke at half-time about, well, the media and the pressure, of course, that's on this English team. Every English manager, English player has that pressure. The English media won't be kind to Southgate and his team tomorrow, sure they won't?
No, England were awful. I said at half-time, it didn't get any better in the second half. Subs didn't really make any difference. I thought in midfield, the Scottish were better all round, quicker to move the ball. England were, their build-up play was so slow that the Scots just got back and covered every position. They gave them time to get back into position by just going backwards a lot of the time. I thought Rice was very, very poor. Phillips, who had a very good game on Sunday, didn't show up tonight. Mount didn't show up. And the three superstars, supposedly superstars they have up front, Sterling, Foden and Harry Kane, didn't show up either. Really, really poor.
And much of that is down to the way Scotland played?
Yeah, they defended well. We're going to show some real good Scots defending. But England were far too slow in their build-up. And gave the Scots defenders time to get behind the ball. And they were very, very committed, very determined in the tackle, never gave them any room. I suppose Southgate will cling on to the fact that they've got 4 points and they can still qualify as winners. But I don't know. Too many players look sluggish to me. I don't know whether it's been a long season. You know, you've got lots of Foden going all the way to the Champions League, Mount going all the way to the Champions League final, Sterling had a lot of football, and Harry Kane looks tired.
Yeah, he was taken off after 74 minutes. Give me your assessment, Damien. You know a lot of those Scottish players. We knew, and England would have known that they would have been, Scotland were going to be in their faces right from the first minute. But Scotland played a lot of good football as well.
They were brilliant. There were spells in the second half where they were dominating England in their own half. Listen, for as good as Scotland were, England were as bad, as Liam said there. It's 3 years since Russia. They've played 3-4-3, England have, nearly the whole 3 years. All of a sudden they come to the tournament. I know Maguire's out, but they're playing 4-2-3-1. He said in the press this week, Gareth Southgate, he knows 10 out of his best 11. I don't think he's nowhere near that. Doesn't know his best right back, doesn't know his best left back. Front line, I don't think he knows either. I don't see it at all. Belgium and Italy, when you compare it to them, Belgium are yesterday struggling at half-time. That bit of X-factor, zip, whatever you want, creativity, boom, boom, goal, game over. Italy, proper fluid outfit, such a pretty watch. Whereas England, just so lopsided, lethargic, like Liam says. You know, they take Kane off. They can't even bring on a number one striker. Like Rashford, top player, but he plays off the side for his club. Calvert-Lewin sitting on the bench.
So are you taking them out of the bracket of big major favourites for this, with the teams you've just mentioned, Belgium, Italy?
On the back of that, absolutely.
Okay.
I know you can't go off one game, but listen, against Croatia, who were poor, yeah, they were efficient, they got the job done, but that was awful tonight. Scotland, brilliant. I'm so pleased for Steve Clarke, Stephen Reid, Stevie Woods. But England were awful. And when you think about their attacking talent, world class, and they are at their clubs, but when they come and pull on in England, sure, I don't know where it's the pressure, the media, you can hear the punters there tonight, they're on them. They were on them after 30 minutes against Croatia, if you turn up your volume on the TV. I don't see it. I don't.
Is that, Liam, the pressure that they are under, the football coming home, all that stuff, 1966, the memories of Euro 96, like Southgate, there will be stick tomorrow, but he doesn't, like, maybe he's too composed at times, but he doesn't seem to wear the pressure on his face as other England managers have done. Like, Harry Kane is out of form, but is it the pressure of being the England captain as well as all this transfer stuff?
Well, I think the transfer stuff has certainly got something to do with it. You know, to not know your future going into this tournament, when you've said quite publicly that he wants to leave his club. Well, he shouldn't have said that if he didn't have a club ready to buy him, you know, or something agreed with Tottenham Hotspur. And you know what Daniel Levy's like, he won't sell Kane on the cheap, so it's a difficult situation to be going into a tournament with that hanging over you. But he's not the only one, you know, Foden and Sterling and Mount, the so-called players, the creative players, they haven't really showed. Like in the two games against Croatia and Scotland, maybe 3 good chances they've created
Yeah.
in 180 minutes. For a team this talented, that's just not good enough. So I think this team will get another chance. By that I mean I think he'll pretty much pick a lot of the same faces again against who they got,
The Czechs on Tuesday.
Republic.
Yeah.
Big incentive to win the group because it probably looks like France, isn't it? If they don't, you know, so yeah, they could go out in the last 16 if they're playing like that. I fully expect them to qualify.
Yeah.
But they could go out of the last 16 if they carry on playing like that.
Yeah, their hopes have taken a bit of a dent. But let's focus on Scotland, Damien, and let's look at the way that they defended tonight. It was brilliant at times.
Yeah, but there's so many aspects of their game we could have showed, you know, keeping the ball, the attacking end of the pitch, but brilliant, you know, the positioning here. Kieran Tierney, brilliant. Robertson, similar type of tackles. Hanley in the middle of the back three, he was absolutely immense. And, you know, as England were poor, they didn't create an awful lot, but Scotland were absolutely top class, putting bodies on the line, the aggression, they were always compact, getting out to people, closing them down. You know, you have to say, yeah, England's final ball, as we see, was poor. But they were just always connected, as you'll see here. You know, 1v1 duels over the pitch, yeah, you possibly lose to England, but not when you're getting bodies with you and it's a 2v1, 3v1 in your favour, as you see. Always helping out their teammate, great last-ditch tackles, absolutely top class.
Yeah, they were. And at times we saw some occasional good stuff from England, but the majority of it just didn't link up. It wasn't good. So we've got examples now of bad.
I didn't see any there.
Yeah, okay, well, fair enough.
Even there, it's got its
Yeah.
defending, but the passing, as Damien said, the final ball. You know, this is Mount. Look at that. Straight out of play. Luke Shaw gives the ball away. He was very poor tonight, Luke Shaw. I think he might be in danger of losing his place. Foden, no end product at all from him tonight. This is Luke Shaw. I don't know what he's thinking. You know, he's got to side foot that across the goal and put the Scots defenders in trouble. It was like a defender clearing the ball.
Yeah.
So I think his with Chilwell there, or even Trippier, who played quite a good game last Sunday. I think Luke Shaw hasn't played himself into this England team, you know. Very, very disappointed with them. In defence, not bad. In defence, I thought Mings had a good game again. Stones, keeper, who I thought might be dodgy, Pickford, he played very, very well tonight. Reece James made a great clearance. It looked like the ball was going in the net. Got back in his line. He played well too. Shaw, no, not for me. But defensively, not bad.
Yeah, we're going to look at Scotland's chances. Like, should they have won this?
Well, I was hoping I didn't realise there were so many fans in Donnybrook, Scottish fans there. Yes, they could possibly have. Dykes was a real handful all night. Obviously, Che Adams playing off him, but they just couldn't cope with him. But again, as similar to the Czech game, it's that final, you know, bit of final gloss, I guess, on the cake, just finishing it off where they struggled the other day. But listen, they're on a point, they can still get through. But you could see they were always wanting to get these balls into the box. It was always McGinn, always Adams, always Dykes pulling off the back areas. Here, just wanting to get it in the mixer, I guess you could call it. And Dykes unlucky here. Was it going in? It might have been coming around, but great clearance off the line. But yeah, they definitely could have nicked it. And if they got 3 points, you know, English fans couldn't have been complaining.
That's real good defending from Reece James there. He's read the situation, he's got back on the goal line, and he's gave Pickford a real good dig out. And this was another one. Adams didn't quite get hold of it. The pitch didn't make it easy for him because it's, you know, very wet and the ball bounces up fast. And Scotland had better chances than England.
What about what England managed to create?
Not a lot.
Yeah, well, let's look.
I think there's the one Mount cutting in off inside, as you'd expect. He does it an awful lot at club level, cutting inside on a stronger right foot. But they just frustrated them all night. Great defending here, but not a lot of bodies in the box. And Kane, you could see even as the game was going on, was frustrated. He was coming out to the side. Here as Mount, one of the few times that nobody met him inside. But I think that's their only shot on target in the second half. They were really, really poor. Here, as you can see, you know, Kane, I know he does it at club level, dropping out to the side and getting involved and what have you, but you want him here in the 6-yard box, getting on the end of things. Just really poor, devoid of ideas, which is bizarre when you think about the attacking talent that they have. Reece James here, opposite side, never looked like scoring, and the only ones that did was Scotland.
Should they have had a penalty, Liam?
Well, I think Scotland got away with one here after seeing what happened to David Alaba last night, you know, when that was given. I couldn't believe this didn't go to VAR. You know, he screamed, Sterling. But Robertson stands right on his foot. You know, it's quite clear. Ball's still well in play. He could have still got that ball had Robertson not stood on his foot. Now, Alaba got penalised for that last night.
It's coming up here, the Alaba incident. Yeah. This is it here.
Probably a bit more obvious, that one, but still the same kind of foul.
Sure,
it's still the same kind of foul, and still impeded the player from going forward. And I think Scotland got a break they deserved there. The referee not asking VAR, or whether he asked VAR, but he wasn't having it. So I think Scotland got a real break, but they deserved it.
Yeah, okay.